Most players in Fortnite want to look like this when they are playing, but what they don't realize is that this doesn't always lead to this. Almost every player wants to learn all of these flashy retakes, but what they don't think about is why they even need to learn all of these. Most of these retakes are great for looking good, but aren't necessarily great for actually playing good. Here are 3 points on why most retakes aren't actually useful. The last point is one I don't think anyone really talks about, so make sure to watch this video throughout to understand all the points. First and foremost, most retakes leads to losing track of your enemies. One of the most important things for defeating your enemies is keeping track of your enemies. Knowing where your enemies are leads to easier piece control, safer peeks, and more protective building. Protective side jumps and using high walls is a great alternative. Protective side jumps and high walls also leads to lower mat consumption, which can be especially useful in tournaments where every build counts. Which leads me to the second point, which is higher mat consumption. Just performing this retake leads to you using 110 mats, which is a ton. Now there will be many who will compare themselves to pros such as Polarized, saying that if he can do all of these retakes, then I can also. You should know that Polarized is someone who has a ton of professional experience and therefore is able to make ranked games seem like pubs. But for someone who isn't as advanced, it is better to learn all of the efficient retakes such as the Swifle Cone, using high walls, or incorporating protective side jumps into your building style. Should be known that Polarized doesn't have any predetermined retake that he performs, but all of his retakes are reactionary, which leads me to the final and most important point. The third point is you should not learn retakes. Now what I mean by this is that retakes aren't a predetermined set of moves that will lead to you taking height. All build fights are fast paced and should be very reactionary. There are singular basic moves that are then combined to create advanced retakes that are suitable to the situation you are in. It is better to learn all of these singular moves individually and then continue to use them to your situation accordingly. These are all of the individual moves that you should practice perfecting. You might or might not have noticed that many pros can read chat while free building, and they are likely not going to mess up. This is the ideal stage where you will have perfected all moves and can build without looking at your crosshair. This can lead to your attention having the freedom to focus on your enemy, which can help you piece up the enemy with more focused predictions. If this video gave you any value, then you using code NLZ will be amazing. If you want to practice your mechanics, then you should definitely try out my Indian 1v1s and aesthetic free build map. Please and thank you.